are names of Brahman. The Supreme Brahman is the origin of all names. So all names are actually his. But he allows the demigods, like Lord Shiva, Lord Brahma, Lord Indra, and so on, to use his different names because they are his potencies. They're doing his service. So he gives them his names, allows them to use his names. So Shiva is actually a name of the Supreme Lord. I was surprised when I first started studying Vishnu Sahasranam, how many names of Lord Shiva are in there. And I didn't understand why it was like that until I started studying Vedanta. And I realized that actually all these names are Lord Vishnu's names. No problem. Another question?
Yeah, nevertheless a question directly referring to Shiva. What is Lord Shiva's relationship with Krishna as his devotee? Is it like Lord Chaitanya's? There is a story about how Lord Shiva wanted to join in the Rasa dance. So is that like Lord Chaitanya's relationship with Krishna?
It's very similar, a similar mood. Yeah, in fact, if you go to Vrindavan today, there's a temple of Lord Shiva called Gopeshwar. At the entrance, or near the entrance to the Rasa dance. And Gopeshwar is Lord Shiva who, in conjugal mood, wanted to join the Rasa dance. And the gopis said, well, Lord Shiva, there's a slight problem. Here you have to take bath in Seva Kunj. If you take bath in Seva Kunj, then you'll get a female gopi form. And then you'll be able to, at least serve the Rasa dance. So he took bath in the Seva Kunj and he took a gopi form, and actually a manjari form. And then he became like the guardian. He's the one who decides who can be admitted to the Rasa dance. Gopeshwar. So his position in view of Braj Leela is like he becomes the gateway. He's like the guru. Oh, you're qualified, you can go through. Or you're not qualified, you stay out. See? Guru is actually just like a gatekeeper. We don't do anything really. But when somebody comes who has the right desire and also the right attitude, then we simply let them through. We give them the pass. Okay, you can go, you can go. But when somebody comes and they want to go, they want to approach the Supreme Lord, but they don't have the service attitude, or they don't have the right qualifications, we say, no, you have to stay and study for some time. You have to become qualified, then you can go. See? And people don't like that. This is why it's always a thankless task, to act as guru, because people don't like to be told that, no, you can't go. You have to become qualified. See, they don't like that. They become angry, and then after a while they want to become guru. Even though they're not qualified. But it's the nature of material consciousness to be envious. So when people are in material consciousness, of course, they have to be told, no, you're not qualified to go to the spiritual world. Yeah? You have to do all this sadhana, you have to do all this service, you have to become qualified. So Shiva is like that. Shiva, if you try to enter the Rasa dance and you're not qualified, oh, Shiva will mess with you. And even today, you can ask anybody in Vrindavan that if somebody tries to go inside the Rasa Mandala and they're not qualified, they'll go mad. It means Shiva's ghosts will attack them and haunt them and drive them crazy. So you cannot force yourself into the rasa dance or the conjugal intimate pastimes of Krishna. You have to be invited. You have to become qualified and then get the authorization to engage in those pastimes. Otherwise, it's very dangerous. You can commit an offense. That's why we don't encourage unqualified people to chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra. And even we found a passage in the Adi Lila in chapter 17 where Srila Prabhupada says, people who don't have a transcendental education and qualifications should not be encouraged to chant Mahamantra. We found that right there in Prabhupada's books. So there's no question that everybody should chant. No. Let people who are unqualified chant Āśram mantra, 12-syllable mantra. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. That's given publicly in Srimad Bhagavatam. But the Hare Krishna mantra is very confidential. Now, it's only for those who are qualified. Anybody else will make an offense and fall down. So we have to be a little cautious. Anyway, next question?
Sneville again. I have some confusion about Sadashiva and Rudra. What is the difference between the two?
Sadashiva is the form of Shiva in the Tatastha Shakti, in the world of Lord Narayan. Lord Narayan emanates the Jiva Shakti, and he also emanates the Pradhan, or the unmanifested material energies. So that realm of consciousness and energy is called the Tatastha. Tatastha means the borderline. It's neither this nor that. It's right in the middle. You know, like there's a time when the sun is rising, when it's neither day nor night. You can't see the stars in the sky anymore, but the sun isn't up either. This is Tatastha. It's borderline. So the Jiva souls can be either in the material consciousness or in the spiritual consciousness, depending on their desire. So they're also called Tatastha, Tatastha Shakti. So in that world of in between, neither this nor that, there's Sadashiva. Sadashiva then expands himself into the material universes, and he becomes the different Rudras. Actually, the Rudras are like incarnations of Shiva, or in many cases they can be living entities who are taking the post of the Rudras. Now there's 9 Rudras, I think. So they're like demigods. And similar to Indra and Chandra and Surya and other demigods like that, they are usually living entities who have the qualifications to perform those particular services. So the difference between Sadashiva and the Rudras, Sada, well, means eternal, and Sadashiva is eternal. But the Rudras, they only exist for the term of existence of the material universe. And then at the end of the material universe, they give up their forms and they go to the spiritual world if they're qualified, or to the next universe. Okay?
So there's another question from Neva.
Another question?
Yeah. Is there any jiva, maybe in the spiritual world, who is able to observe the creation by Mahavishnu? Or is it only described and revealed to certain empowered jivas?
Oh boy. I haven't heard or read anywhere in the scriptures of a jiva witnessing the creation. I mean, maybe the closest thing might be the personified Vedas, who also exist with Mahavishnu during the time when the material universes are unmanifest. See, the pradhan, or the principle of material creation, emanates from Lord Mahavishnu in the form of all these like bubbles. And when the bubbles expand, they manifest material universes. But then when the material energy is wound up again, all these bubbles go back into the pores of the skin of Mahavishnu. So at that time, the personified Vedas is described in Srimad Bhagavatam, that the personified Vedas gather around him. And when he goes into his yoga nidra, sleep, then they glorify him. And that's their engagement, that's their job, you know. So I'm not sure if these are exactly jivas, the personified Vedas, you know. I think they might be some other tattva, you know, because the scripture doesn't really mention that they're jivas. They might be, I don't know. Maybe they're like, you know, the jivas who live in Vaikuntha. Nitya Siddhas. So, assuming that they are, then I guess you could say that the personified Vedas